I was wrong. Let's talk about it. Now, first of all, it's on my Twixter, and this is a message for myself. No one is perfect. Keep working. Stay focused on the work. Acknowledge that part of, I've got it down there, hashtag learning agility. Learning agility is being adaptive, and some of that is recognizing when you're wrong, if you need to pivot or correct yourself. In this case, we're going to the comments section. And this was pointed out. I'm a little slow getting back to comments. I'm still getting over something. It's been a few weeks. I hope I am back at 100% in the next week or two. But in the meantime, I've been a little hit and miss on the comment section. This is a recent comment from a video, niostock, Neo Lee Xpeng or Xiaopeng. And this is the person quoting me from the video and giving the timestamp. And so I listened to it and I was like, wow, yeah, I should have said that differently. After Mega, they, meaning Li Auto, decided they don't want to pursue the BEV side of the business anymore. This is me responding to the comment. I should have said Li Auto hit the pause button on pursuing the BEV market. That would have been more accurate. Thanks for pointing this out. And then I said their website, meaning Li Auto, their website didn't offer much about their pursuit of the BEV market. But I also took a look at their most recent earnings transcript to see if they would offer any specific information. And one quote is shown below from the Q&A. So here's the quote from the Q&A session from Li Auto's most recent earnings. I think it was October 31st, 2024. And before our new BEV models come to market, we expect to have more charging stations than Tesla in key cities for sales. By the time our new BEV model launches, we target to have more than 2,000 charging stations in operation. And I've highlighted that for a reason. We'll get to that in a second, which will scale up to 4,000 by the end of 2025 next year. Our supercharging station network now covers 9 national highways, a total of over 54,000 kilometers, with a coverage ratio of 63% of national highway trunk lines, end quote. So that's from the Q&A. And here's the post. I'll pull it in just a sec. But my following comment is, I thought this post was worth bookmarking as the advantages of NIO with power swap stations being able to stabilize the grid seems a no-brainer and much more viable future versus chargers and superchargers by companies like Tesla and Li, which we've heard about. There are times when they pull too much from the grid, they can't even be used. So here's the post, the original tweet from Marcel. Interestingly enough, almost 20,000 views. Now coming back to this, and the reason that I have this in operation is I'm just thinking in terms of big picture overview, sort of like the EREVs, these extended range EVs that Li Auto and some other companies have sold really, I mean, they've done really well with them. If or as they try to pivot into the pure BEV space, how much more of an issue does that cause for the grid? And if companies like NIO have the solution to the grid stabilization, at what point, do we see maybe some major changes happen with respect to what's even allowed with the charging stations? I have no idea. But the point is to bring this up and kind of have this awareness as, what is unclear is the path forward for companies like Li Auto, because if they do fail to have an effective pivot into the pure BEV space, then they're kind of limited, right, with their EREVs. And then also on the energy side of the business, the charging, if there ends up being a waste or stations that can't even be utilized, that's also an issue. So this is just kind of me thinking out loud and sharing a little bit of my bigger picture kind of overview. I don't know how this plays out, but I do think that NIO has solved problems that some are still not even recognizing or acknowledging are problems. And I do think it was interesting, and we'll see how this plays out in the long term or big picture with Li Auto, once they do come out with more BEVs, because there was another quote in that same earnings transcript where they referenced the over 300,000 BEV sort of sub-segmented, side of the business. And that's where NIO is selling and targeting and dominating right now on the EV side, the pure BEV side. But that also means that Li thinks they can take a piece of the business from the German brands, from Audi, from BMW, from Mercedes. So I'd like to close with this kind of thought or question for you to comment on. What are your thoughts? Is Li going to have success in that upper price range with the pure BEV segment? And how much does that maybe change long-term if they're having to compete with companies like NIO that have battery swappable models? Do we see a shift there? What do you think? I want to hear from you. This is a one-off video, me just talking about being wrong. I expect to be wrong. And I think it's important to highlight it because I recognize no one is perfect. And so I'm going to get things wrong. I should have said things differently. And I thought, what better thing for me to do than offer kind of my reasoning and overview and clarification, and then also some talking points to see what people are thinking. I need to come back with some more content. We've got a big week ahead for NIO earnings. Are we going to see the stock go up? We'll save that and we'll talk about that in another video. I'm going to do a deeper dive in that next video. So thanks. Come back and see me again. Have a great day. See y'all again very soon.